The last 24 hours for this game have been some of the most hilarious things that I've had the chance to read, and honestly, months for this game. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, this is by far the pure definition of this community having zero understanding of real problems in this game for the meta and things that need to get checked. Because all I have heard from this community is, see, the gimmick puppet lock is the real problem over here. That's the thing that needs to get checked. Alright, Konami needs to take care of Sanctifier right now. Alright guys, I'm over here. I'm shaking in my boots. Alright, I'm telling you guys, the era of Branded. See, Branded has won one national championship out of the 30 that have happened out there. And it is the strongest deck in the meta. Alright, it has been, like tier 1.5 this whole time. I'm telling you, nobody has figured it out yet, alright? The fact that, it finally won the UK, you guys don't understand, alright? Snake Eyes, what's that? Alright, you guys are just terrible at this game. That is all I have heard in the last 24 hours from this community. Is people are quaking, they're shitting the floor, and they are going, yeah, Sanctifier needs to be banned. I would like it to once again re-emphasize the fact that you have Snake Eyes over here, who is gatekeeping people from actually playing the game out here. But a semi-lock deck that has outs present in the course of the game right now, and is typically not a bully, and typically gets bullied by the course of the meta out here, has just this great discord. And it amazes me that people are they're pointing the finger. Like, they are just going after say. It amazes me. This is the real problem. And after you look at all the representative data that has been across all of these national championships, I mean, I've seen top 16s, top 32s where Branded hasn't even been present. Alright, this deck wins one event, and suddenly the community is... you got Power Creep coming next week, by the way, Terminal Revenge. We're all going to have to deal with Phantom of Ubel protecting these end boards out here. But lo and behold, a deck that finally gets its variance of high roll actually ends up winning an event, and people just forget about Snake Eyes. That's the part that just confuses me to no end here. Suddenly, yeah, let's keep Snake Eyes around that. Now, I do want to say, hey, Plants had a huge successful weekend out of this. Not two nationals were won. I know we had the second place finish out of the UK. I believe Lithuania had a win for it as well. It was what, 2/3 of the nationals this weekend were won or had Plants some sort of crazy domination out of it. So I'm gonna clap for that. That's pretty good. Also, I'm not gonna say that the UK is not, I read a comment earlier today. It was like, wow, the UK metagame is an absolute laughing stock of the community. I don't think that's necessarily the takeaway here, or that's even true. We talk about, a lot of regional data and analyzing a lot of, the trends that happen in these regions. We just had a regional where there was 0 Snake Eyes present in the top cut, but there was a dominating force of Tempai. You shift around to some of these other national championships out here, you have frickin' Salamangreat smashing through the meta. You have Solid taking down these huge, areas as well. And there will be cases that you had Virtual World showing up out here. You also have to remember, not every deck is going to dominate. Obviously, when you're looking at a YCS and you're pushing, these 10, 11, 12 round events, obviously the consistent monster in the room is going to be the one taking down those larger results. But you've also got to factor in for variance and things like this as well. And I think one thing that people definitely are not crediting for a lot of the recent Plant success is if players don't know the matchup, or the deck shows back up, you've also got to remember Pilot ability to play these decks. People, If you have genuine practice and understanding of your deck, you can overcome a lot of the weakness out here. And that's one major thing that people seem to forget. These pilots that are looking or playing these plant decks have had a very strong track record of success, and it really baffles me that people are just like, I'm going to discredit them. And it's like, no, they've had success out here, and it's, maybe this is just flavor of the week like Virtual World was a couple weeks ago. You will have trends that will spike up. That's one of the cool things I like about looking at and analyzing the metagame here is, with all of these crazy things that can happen, you can have, once again, you go from, Salad dominating back into the meta out here because Nibiru has people going, Salad, how does this work? And all of a sudden, a deck with 5 Link 4s is showing up. Virtual World out here is bullying a couple of Nationals, locking down a win for itself because Skill Drain is a crazy dominating force. Branded takes down, a big country nationals like the UK, putting, Ragnarok plants into a 16-1. And a lot of people are, once again, the trend this week is just, oh my gosh, Albion and friends, Branded, it's such a bad deck, get rid of it. And it's like, this deck has been such a rogue contender for so long. And I guarantee you, heading on into, off of the plant success off this week, you're going to have Phantom of Ubel entering into the fray next weekend. So now you've got to keep in mind that you're also going to have the dual terminal themes coming on into the May. You know what the flavor of next week's going to be? Holy crap, I hate Phantom of Ubel because I can't break their board. You're going to forget about the Sanctifier, BS this week, and you're probably going to forget about plants having a successful turnaround. You know what's going to happen the week after that? We're probably going to start getting reveals for Infinite Forbidden, if not the week after that. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, Fiendsmith. These trends, they come and go in the course of this game, but the point of this discussion, also, to the people out here calling for bans on plants, I understand that, after the last successful run of plants, we ended up with a couple of things on the last ban list because of plants. The deck did need checked. I'm not saying that, pointing the finger at Albion now is the thing because it won one national championship. This deck has had a terrible track record for most of this meta, but it gets one W and now it's the bad guy in the room. I'm not going to understand that mentality for a while. So take away from all of this. Weekly trends and metagame, interesting spikes will force people to lose their minds. They're going to complain about anything that they can. Going forward into a ban list here, I read one comment, it's like, oh great, more Eureka Sun Avalon hits coming for the Plant Toolbox deck. You can all honestly thank Nibiru for not being present in this meta. I want to attribute a lot of the success to the weird things that I think people are missing in the course of this format. Salad coming back, maybe not so much Virtual World. That's another thing out here. And the plant success. Space Rock, they might not stop, the one thing, but it definitely, if you're worried about these decks being here, Space Rock pushes them down to, lower heights in the meta down there. So if you're all worried about this crazy change in the meta, just blame the lack of Nibiru being present in the meta because you get the chance to see these abnormalities. And once again, this format is dog shit. I don't lie to you about that. I'm still frustrated with this game right now. The general consensus across the board is this format is absolutely awful, and I don't disagree with that take. But I'm not here to complain about that today. I'm here to look at the fact that the outlandish opinions that people think are going to, they're going to ban Albion now. And it's like, if we're really going to ban something after one national showing out here when it has been, problems for formats, we'll have to wait and see out here. But honestly, I think everything that has been happening for the evolution of the meta is good. It's good to see that Snake Eyes isn't, getting the free W's out here. But let me tell you, some of those representations out of this past weekend, seeing 25 out of top 64, the numbers are still there. It's still a problem. So what do you guys think? Is the big bad Sanctifier, a major problem? Is Ricus on Avalon going to get hit on the next list because of its 1 week of successful showings? Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and LOL, what a day.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.